I was going to say, because you obviously new to the coaching game, and we have spoken about that before, and for you, your first couple of games, I mean, the season hasn't gone as planned, let's put it that way.
Yes.
And there's been quite a bit of challenges for you guys just from a normal rugby point of view. How's that been for you? How's the experience been for you so far? And obviously now that you sit there, I know players can't train, but I mean, you sit there now, you almost analyzing every day, I'm sure. Yeah, how's that been so
Yes.
far?
Yeah, I mean, it has been challenging, Brendan, but I mean, I kind of didn't expect anything less going into this coaching role. You know, having played for a number of years, you go through the highs and lows, and yes, there is a big difference as a player and as a coach, but you definitely do go through those highs and lows as a player as well. The most difficult part as a coach is kind of, you know, letting go and knowing that there's only so much you can do, and on the weekend it's up to the boys, you know, to give it all they've got. So I think that's probably been the biggest challenge for me is kind of that realization that on match day it's up to them, you know. So a lot of lessons learned, and you know, hopefully we as a coaching group and a player group can go forward now, and you know, this might probably be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, and we can use this time to kind of have a good look at what we're doing at the moment, and try and tweak here and there where we can, because you know, obviously what we have done the last 7 weeks hasn't quite worked or been good enough, and so we definitely got to find solutions, and we've obviously been as a coaching group been you know, looking at that, working hard on that, debating and discussing it, and coming up with some solutions.
Have you guys put a finger on it? Because I mean, it's not that the performances have been bad. It's just been lapses in defence at times, and yeah, if you look back at those games, and they feel so long ago now, suddenly for us. It almost feels like there was little things that went wrong that cost a lot of points.
Yes. Yeah, look, I mean, that's the nature of Super Rugby. I mean, the margins are so small, and you know, I think that's the great thing of being involved in this type of competition is you get challenged every single week, and you've got teams that are analysing you just as well as you are analysing them, and I think that's the challenge, and also the exciting part of this competition. It really pushes you to improve and to be better every single week, which I've really enjoyed. And yeah, I mean, there's been various things. I think defensively is definitely something we've spoken about extensively, and I know area Coach Sean has worked hard on, and I think the guys have just been, probably we've tried to implement you know, a bit of a rusty or putting skill sets under pressure, and we haven't been as accurate as we would have liked to have been, especially in the wider channels. We've probably let a couple passes go too many into the wider channels, and that's where we've been exploited mostly. And it's obviously something we've spoken about, and something we really want to improve going into whatever competition we will go into next. But there are also, you know, other areas. I think on attack, we've also spoken extensively of, you know, just getting back to our principles and focusing on our principles again. And Neil has done some fantastic work there, you know, and done some good reflection, and myself included. You know, we had, I can't tell you how many opportunities 5 meters from the opposition try line, and we just didn't manage to execute enough. But we did get ample opportunities. So I think across the board, we've had, you know, good time to reflect and look at our departments, but also as a whole. I think it's important to look at it holistically, because we're all interlinked. So we've had some good discussions, and you know, we've definitely had good time to reflect, and it seems like we're still going to have another week or two to do that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, you know, and we can come to to conclusions, and then hit the ground running, obviously, as soon as we get back.
Now, you guys are obviously still, as you say, having meetings, and you're still going through everything and meeting as in your different pods, players and different groupings. I suppose the good thing in a way is that when you come back, everything's almost could be back at zero. We could be at a point where it's almost like a new season starting. And so I suppose that, and as you say, it's a blessing in disguise in one way. But in another way, it almost gives you the chance to start fresh and start new. And so do you basically build on what you guys have done this season and take it just further as if it's a new season? Or do you guys see it as a new season, if I can throw that, whatever's going to happen?
Yeah, well, I guess for us, it's a bit of a blessing. But if you think of the Sharks, they would probably have, they would have wanted to play, carry on playing. I mean, they were doing phenomenally well. So for us, I mean, it's like I said, it's a time to reflect and kind of just look back. And I think our approach will be to look back at what we have done, because that is really, really important. And try and learn, from that. Try and look at the lessons that we've learned. Look at the things we're not doing well enough at this stage. And also look at the stuff that we are doing well and try and be better at that. And I mean, Cash has been phenomenal in learning more about Zoom, which I think a lot of people have been. And we've been doing a lot of meetings, a lot of interactive things, videos, breaking up into various groups, talking about solutions, talking about things we're not doing well, things we are doing well. So that's been great the last couple of weeks, and he's been leading us phenomenally well during this difficult period. So the boys have been hard at work. I think Rupert, our conditioning coach, has also been phenomenal. The guys it was a scramble to get equipment. I think everyone was scrambling just to get a watt bike and some weights, and we managed to kind of rent or from some biokineticists or some gyms managed to rent their equipment. We managed to take equipment obviously from our gym, and guys were scrambling, and everyone managed to get something, and we kind of sharing. The players are sharing their exercises or their training sessions with each other and motivating each other, and it's been quite inspiring to see, especially around the world, not just us, but around the world, how people have used this time, effectively, and I think it's inspired everyone. So I think to answer your question, sorry, it's a long answer, but I think we'd probably look at this as a bit of a new season. Take the lessons that learn the lessons and go into whatever competition we will play next, refreshed and motivated, obviously, to be better.